Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. As you can see, we are filming here at the fantastic Courtesy Ford, and we're going to chat with the folks a little bit later, and we look forward to it. Yep. What do you think?
Yep, absolutely. This is a great place.
It is, yeah. I think it'll be a nice conversation. Right now, we're going to have some nice conversation with our pal Chris, who joins us from Martingilio Martial Arts, and we have asked you to come back and see us. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing very well, thank you.
So we're glad to see you, and talk to me a little bit about Martingilio. Now, you guys are primarily self-defense. You do more self-defense than a lot of other places.
Yes.
So what do you think it is that you guys are doing differently in comparison in terms of self-defense from some of the other places out there?
There's a big difference between competitive martial arts and effective self-defense martial arts. We have martial artists that are young, all the way up to 7th, 8th, 9th degree black belt that are coming to us to understand why or how to be taught martial arts that are actually really effective. They've got to be humane, they've got to be morally effective, you've got to be something that you can do. Where people talk about eye gouges or I'd kick them in the throat, or these things are maybe not something everybody can actually do.
Right, right.
And so one of the biggest concerns we have is understanding the martial art in a way that can be done by the individuals, not just by me, who's been doing this for 27 years, and my instructor's been doing it for 44 years.
Right.
Yeah, we're well trained.
That's a really important point, because it's got to be able to be something that's sort of universally available in terms of physical ability.
Right.
Because you want to be able to teach, you know, youngsters how to do things like this, maybe elderly folks.
Elderly people, exactly.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned that morality stance, which I think is good too. Some people, you know, like you said, eye gouges and things like that, they just may not feel comfortable with that sort of technique.
Correct.
So being able to have options that are just as effective, but people feel more comfortable doing, like, yeah, I think I could do that versus gouging somebody's eyes out. I think is really, really important.
I mean, there's the physical side of the martial arts that are important to teach, and that's got to work. It's got to be mechanically sound. It's got to be something you can do. I have to be able to teach a younger child or an elderly woman to do the same technique. And so it's got to be something they can physically do, but then it's got to be something that they can mentally do. You know, they've also got to be able to swallow the fact that they're going to hurt somebody.
Right.
The attackers are already set on the fact they're going to hurt you.
Right.
They know they're going to hurt you. They're planning this. They're okay with this. Most of the people we teach this to are nice people that don't want to hurt somebody.
Right. It's not innate. It's not intuitive.
Right. So hard-hitting journalism question here. You talked about how you do things a little bit differently.
Right.
Are what the other place is doing, is that wrong?
It's wrong. And most of them are teaching something that, let's just talk from a standpoint of a choke.
Okay.
Most people will teach the hands to come in and push out.
Okay.
This is very difficult to do for most people strength-wise. Functionally does not work. The stronger motion is to an inside motion.
Right.
We've heard people talk about jamming the nose way up into the skull. This also does not work. The motion is down. This was typically done many years ago. Japan, China, any of the martial arts at their origins were taught in two ways. One, to foreigners and children. And that was protected information that was taught to the older student, the oldest son. And so there was two different things taught. One was safe and it's something you could teach to kids, and something was effective for real use. Most of the world received, though, the children's art.
Interesting.
Wow,
Okay. So talking about being effective, and you're talking a little bit about folks who are going to be carrying out these actions are often not, you know, wanting to hurt somebody else. How do you keep it effective but also humane? You're kind of trying to make that balance.
It's got to work, but there can't be injury.
Sure. Okay.
That's very important.
Right.
You know, sticking a pen in somebody's eye is not something I can teach to the masses. It's something people don't want to do.
Right.
But if I said, we're going to grab a hold of just one finger and we're going to make it stop, the attack is going to stop, we're going to re-script this event. Then at that point we can see that person goes, I can do this.
Right.
It's something I can swallow mentally. It's something I can do physically.
Yeah, this isn't a movie. This is real life.
Correct.
It's got to be able. We have to be able to carry it out.
We have to be able to carry it out, and that's where most people teach poorly.
Okay. Interesting.
And it's something that, you know, isn't going to cause something like that. You're doing a finger bend or something isn't going to necessarily cause long-term physical damage.
We typically see no physical damage.
Right. But it's effective. It stops the attack immediately.
Stops the attack, and that's what's important, because we do want to teach this to nurses who are working in emergency rooms, police officers who need to make an arrest, a fireman who might be trying to save somebody. But so we run into this all the time. But I also have to teach that 5-year-old kid how to have something, or that 95-year-old woman how to do something.
Yeah.
And it's effective to get a hold of a finger, a lot easier than saying we're going to kick to somebody's head or to block punches.
Right.
Very good.
And we're going to, later on, if maybe in a month or so, we're going to have you do some demonstrations for us, which we're really excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn.
And we're going to learn a little bit about this self-defense rescripted idea that you have.
Right.
Really quick before we go, I'm wondering if you can talk to us a little bit about where and who you've taught.
We teach this program actually at the hospitals. We've taught this at Milwaukee Regional Police Training Center. I have 2 high schools right now that I run 6 weeks programs for their gym classes. We actually had a group of senior women that asked me to do this program for them.
All right, well, thanks so much, Chris, for sharing all of your information with us today. Make sure you check out Martingilio Martial Arts. And we've got another important topic coming up after the break. We're talking to Trinity Financial. That's here on Wisconsin Family.